it is Tasha. I am back with another video. You see, I got a guess what me today. A guess what me today. Hey, a guess what me today. A guess what me today. So you know we probably gonna get real ratchet talking about Married at First Sight this week because it just keeps getting gutter and gutter every episode. I mean, ain't nothing else for us to do but go in. So here we are. Season 12, episode 7 of Married at First Sight. A little bit less of the Chris and Paige show. So my guest for today is my sister. Yes, my blood sister. She has joined me today to get in on all this ratchetness of Married at First Sight. So we're going to take a little 30-second PSA, let the people know where they can find you on Instagram. I see the Encore Design and Decor books in the background.
Yes. Hey, y'all. I'm so excited for my TV debut on the channel. Yes. So I am Shell, as Tasha said. She's my big little sister. Yeah, she thinks she's the oldest, but she's not. Where you can find me, I am on Instagram at Encore Designs and Decor. Check me out there.
All right, that's her 30 seconds, y'all, and that's all she getting, okay? All right. So let's jump in this week's episode, y'all. We got 2 hours of stuff to get through. We're going to try not to hold you too long, but we got to talk about the mess, okay? So this week, because I have a guest, we're going to go in order of couples instead of how the episode played out for us this week. So, we'll start with the mild and end with the ratchet. Okay, y'all already know who the ratchet is. All right, Lego. So we're going to start with Clara and Ryan. So that's to give you guys, just a little heads up. I'll put a little picture maybe somewhere up in here or up in here. But this is slick back hair boy and kind of square chin girl. That's who we talking about with the blonde haired black roots that be coming through. Gotcha. That's who we talking about. They was pretty boring this episode, in my opinion. They basically don't talk about nothing when they move in together. She talk about, how she stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning. Do you remember what she do for a living that she can stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning?
No, I said, girl, we adults.
We grown ups.
When she said Ryan go to bed too early at 10:30, I said, well, good Lord.
That's a late night for me.
We adults. I can't remember what she do, but obviously it's nothing where she got to get up early.
Yeah, same. That's what I thought, because I'm like 10:30 is, I'm pushing it to make it there on a weeknight. So her going to bed at 1 a.m., she got to have the TV on, she got to have the fan going. Oh God, they're gonna have to, compromise on whatever that's gonna be. We can get into them meeting with Pastor Cal. Again, that was kind of boring with them. They say things have been going well. They haven't really disagreed on anything. Of course, y'all know Pastor Cal gonna ask about the intimacy and the sex every single time. He do it every season. So we already know from the honeymoon, they want to keep that on the hush hush, because Ryan don't want everybody to know what's going on in between them sheets.
Because you ain't on a TV show. Okay.
So basically, Clara makes it clear that we've been doing some stuff. So I guess that's everything but a home run is what I'm assuming.
Whatever. What that mean? This is my opinion. Swoop hair boy just ain't really into her like that. That's all I can gather from that. She obviously wants to get it in, and he like, I'm really feeling you like that. Like that's what I'm feeling. That's just me, in my opinion.
I thought the same way until he said that he was all in. Like when he was talking to Pastor Cal and he said he has committed himself without a doubt. And Pastor Cal was like, that's starting something, right? That's starting the maybe just the L on the LOVE. And I was like, well, maybe he really is feeling her. I mean, she is definitely sexually frustrated because she's been wanting to get it in since she said, I do. So it's clear that Ryan is the one that's like, pump the brakes. Let's take it slow.
Ryan as unstable as his kitchen cabinet. Did you see the kitchen cabinet? The kitchen cabinet was like this, and the box of cereal was still on the top of it. I said, "Well, what's happening here, Ryan?"
At first,
So
I thought he had a little design going on, like he had funky cabinets. And I was like, oh,
no,
no.
he missing a screw in that shelf, and he just didn't feel like looking for it. So Ryan, and that is just like, it's like him. Like from the outside, he want to be, this. I'm all put together. When you start looking in them cabinets and them drawers, it's a mess.
Preach
So
on it.
he still got some internal work that he need to do on himself. So I think he wants it. He wants the idea of being married and all that comes with that. But
Right.
he ain't really that sexually attracted to homegirl. I just think that's what's happening now. I think
how did he go all his life without telling somebody he loved him? Because he's been
right.
in a long-term relationship before.
That's kind of weird.
Like, I'm not gonna be with you for 2 years and you ain't told me that you love me.
It's kind of weird.
No. Anything else you got to say on them two?
I wish he would just cut his hair. That's all I got to say about that.
That part, or at least loosen up the gel. I mean, he took the hat off and the head did not move. Did not move. Is he using Gorilla Glue?
Gorilla Glue. That's what it looked like to me. Gorilla Glue.
Might be.
We're gonna leave that alone.
All right, we're gonna move on to Virginia and Eric, Pilot Boy and Drunkard.
Oh, Tequila. That's her name. I cannot remember their names to save my life now. Tequila, that's what I call her.
We'll pop a little picture over here in case y'all forgot to.
Tequila and Jet Blue. That's my name for them. Tequila and Jet Blue.
Yes. So we see them. They're still being kissy, touchy-feely, and it's still getting on my absolute nerves because it looks like a brother, sister, father, daughter relationship. And as they go into their new apartment and she's talking about, I'm going to need alone time. I just make sure that hopefully, when you're at work in my alone time, it just matches up. And I'm like, girl, he already gone for half the month.
Right. He said he would schedule it around the time she need alone time. I don't get it. I don't get why she signed up for this.
I said, you don't need alone time. You just don't want Eric on your case when you come home drunk or you don't come home because you drunk.
Because she's sleeping on her friend's couch. Girl, stop.
Let's get into that. Let's get into that because Pastor Cal comes over. And of course, we got to have some wine before he comes over. And she says, I haven't even been drinking that much lately. If you got to point it out, you might got a problem, okay?
She was drinking while she was talking to Pastor Cal.
God, so while they're talking to Pastor Cal, she's letting us know, hanging out with her friends, it's really not a phase. This is who she is. She's just a party girl. She shares that they have consummated their marriage. Bow, 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 bow. Are we surprised? No.
No, we're not.
Not at all. They talk
what
about.
What would surprise me is if they've consummated it sober.
That part, probably not. I'm sure I can guarantee it was probably that same day last episode when Chris was when they was at the meet with the guys and Eric was just like, yeah, guys, you got to be about her, man. You got to be about her, man. You got to show her. It's probably that same day.
They was falling asleep at the table.
That same day was probably what it was.
I can't. So, I don't want JetBlue to go mess around and lose his job.
You about to lose your job.
Hey.
You about to lose your job.
Hey. That's the part that's worrying me. Like, don't you be fooling around with Tequila and mess around and lose your good job as that pilot because she want to turn up Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Every day to ending day.
Like every day to ending day. Exactly.
Every day to ending day.
Girl, stop. Stop.
So what basically kind of, further cement this kind of, father-daughter relationship, they're talking about their age differences and experiences. And he's like, I've done this before. And I think she just thinks this is like a girlfriend or boyfriend relationship. This is really marriage. And it truly sounds like a father telling his 15-year-old daughter about boys. Like,
right. That's it.
what are we doing here, people? What are we doing here? So she says she got upset essentially because he cared about her well-being. He asked me to let him know when I got where I was going. And when I left the house, he said, have a good time and be safe. What's the problem?
What's the problem? Somebody care that you made it there safely, girl. Not somebody, your husband. Your husband cares that you got to your destination safely. And what you told him was that was like what your parents did when you were younger. I'm like, well, girl.
Yeah.
Well, it's human trafficking and stuff like that happening. He just wanted to make sure you didn't get snatched.
Oh, how much you drink. He probably just want to make sure you're okay.
That even better. Even better. Even better. That part right there, I was just like, you don't need to be married. Like that's not out of the ordinary for your husband just to be checking on you. And
right.
She wants to still live a single life.
Right.
She wants somebody to help pay them bills. That's the part she like about being married.
Buy that wine.
Buy the wine. Right. Stop by the Publix and go ahead and get my Pinot Grigio on the way.
The box one, the big one.
The box. She wants that, but she doesn't want what comes with being a partner in a relationship. Like,
right.
I don't get it. I don't. It's almost like she did this as a bet. Like,
probably.
When I look at her, I'm like, did somebody dare you to go on Married at First Sight? Like,
probably.
Stuff you're talking about. I still want to be able to sleep on my homeboy couch. Girl. Pastor Cal said, I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
No.
Not
especially, again, she drinks. What happens when you drink? You're not in your right mind. You are gonna mess around with your
alcohol.
They might as well be my gay best friends. Pastor Cal said, are they gay? No, they're not. So can you stop? What?
They gay, but not.
Oh, so she does that, and I get aggravated, and then she makes me kind of feel sorry for her because she says that Eric wanted her to ask permission for her to go out, and I'm like, oh, Eric, I knew that was coming, but so soon that she needs your permission. Like, it's a fine line of not necessarily asking for permission, but kind of letting your partner know, right, what's going on. So, but she, of course, because she's young, she looks at it, this is my parent asking me where I'm going.
Right.
But no, maybe I wanted to surprise you with a date night. Maybe I had a movie night planned for us. You never know. So, is it all right if I, hang out with, Friday night, James, them coming over? Is that cool?
Yeah, that it is really, she is in her own head. One, because she has not, but she even said something along the lines of she never even lived with someone else.
Right.
So it's like she's trying to do a whole lot at one time. Right. And by getting married at first sight, she needed some gradual steps.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, she's the one that was like, she hasn't been in a relationship since she was like 21, and I think she's only 26. Yep. Yep. So she's gone all these years, not being with anybody, drinking every weekend.
And I ain't mad at her. Like, at the end of the day, if you want to be 26 and doing that, like, girl, sow your royal oats. Right. But don't sign up for the show if having a husband is really not what you want to do. Like, I don't know. Tequila got to get it together, girl.
Yeah, they just seem like they live two very separate lives, and this opposites attract is not, they don't fit with each other. And it could be the perfect thing because she do like to hang out and he's gone half the month. That could be the
That could
perfect
work.
situation for you, because that does not happen, that your
Right.
spouse is gone. But it's just the fact that she's just like, no, I need to go out. We doing Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Like, who needs to do that
Girl,
every week, honey?
girl.
He
That's why
got to
she
fly
always late.
planes. He got to
That's
fly
why she,
planes.
that's why she always late for work too. Didn't she tell me she late for work every day?
Yes. You see, she done had Eric late on the honeymoon. How many times? He can't be late for work. He's a pilot. I ain't worried about it though, because his mama, as soon as his mama get a hold, you ain't gonna mess up my son and his job, okay?
Girl, them good conservative Southern Christians.
We
Yeah,
all know what that means.
we
I
gonna
ain't gonna
skip
say
that.
it, but we all know what that means.
We gonna skip that topic, girl. Come on.
Yes. Anything
Come on.
else on these two?
I, Eric, Jacob, JetBlue, what's his
Eric.
name? Enjoy it while you can, but I don't think y'all gonna make it.
Me either. I
Have
don't think they're
fun.
gonna make it either.
Have fun, but I don't see this lasting at all. Because it's too much of a parenting child relationship versus a husband and wife, and
Right.
she can't make the shift. So have fun.
Yep. All right, let's move on to Brianna and Vincent. So they go
Okay.
see each other places. He's tidy, she's tidy. She has a ton of clothes and a ton of shoes. I'm
Yeah.
not one to judge, because
Nope.
we all, do our thing.
He called it a mini mall. He said she got her closet is like a mini mall. Girl, I was looking, I was like, girl, I see them labels. You do it.
Yeah, she has quite a bit of things, but if that's what you like, she was a single woman just a week ago. Do what you want to do, boo. Okay.
And an engineer. Buy what you want with
Bloop,
your money.
bloop. So Pastor Cal then comes to their apartment for a visit, asks how things are going. So, they kind of shared that things are going good. They talked about finances. They talked about families. They said that they've consummated their marriage, which we know from the honeymoon. So Pastor Cal does ask about, any issues that has arisen. Vincent then comes with this respect once again, which we've heard quite a few times from him at this point. So he kind of talks about how, he's pretty laid back, but when he gets upset, he kind of takes it there. And that made me a little bit nervous or apprehensive, in the sense of, I hope you don't get physical, number one, but does that mean you just spew out all kind of hateful things you can't take back? Do you start using all kind of foul language, or even throwing things? Like, what does that mean?
Right. We got a little taste of it at the end.
Yes.
So we got a little taste of it. He seems like one of those that will just, let things kind of snowball. So it's like, yeah, it's really about you not refilling the toilet on the toilet roll, but I ain't say nothing about that. I let 5, 6 other things happen, and now I'm just,
right.
Calling you all kind of bees and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I could kind of see Vincent doing that. I
Right.
think he's all into his girl or whatever, but he does not seem like the type to deal with issues as they happen.
Right.
Therefore, it's like it blows up because he's just waited so long to address it. And I think we saw some of that when they were talking to Pastor Cal. I was like, come on now, y'all. Everything sounds all hunky-dory and perfect and boring. I mean, at the end of the day, I was just like, no, there's some stuff happening.
Right.
Y'all, we just gonna find out. I mean, obviously that other couple we ain't get to yet.
Right.
Kind of taking over everybody's, the spotlight over everybody. But I'm really rooting for them. But I do think that Vincent may have some work to do as far as how he communicates in order for it to not get to the point that we saw at the end when he was like, hey,
yes.
you stop disrespecting me.
Right. So since you already brought it up, let's segue to that piece where they're at the apartment, they're about to start unpacking, but Brianna's like, let's pop some champagne. So he pops the champagne, it starts spurring out on the floor. They start to clean it up, and then he noticed he got some on his shirt, and she says, oh, that's so Vinny of you. I thought absolutely nothing of it, but I
Nothing.
knew it was going to be something because anytime production puts the subtitles on it, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be an issue. So I saw that and I was like, oh boy, here it goes. So they just, drunk, and she could tell the energy has shifted with him a little bit. So she's like still trying to unpack, put things away. He's like, I'll just use the other closet. And again, she's like, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, I'm just tired. And she's like, I ain't buying it. So she says, well, I'm gonna get ready for bed. And they both go in the bathroom, and you can hear her ask him again, what's wrong? And he says about this disrespect thing. And I was like, huh? Did we miss something? I didn't see the disrespect.
I missed it. Completely missed it.
But obviously, once they get in bed, he explains what the issue is. And it was the Vinny comment of, what does that mean? Does that mean I'm stupid? And she's like, oh God, no. Like, I would never call anybody stupid, let alone my husband. And I didn't take it that way either. But I basically said what you said of, he has work to do, of that ex who basically was like, nope, you need to get a corporate job. You need to do this. You're not good enough to be your own boss. He is still having all of that on him now. And any little thing that she says, while she may have to get to know him to figure out how she needs to filter herself, I think he also has to stop being so nitpicky about every single thing that she says and breaking it down into, she talking about me, she judging me, she think I'm stupid, she think I ain't got no money. Like, no.
I'm broke. I'm just broke around here dreaming of selling cars one day and stuff like that. I think you are exactly right. In order for it to work, in my opinion, Brianna has to tread lightly because she's very assertive and black girl magic. Get it, Brie. But she has a man that his ego is fragile. I mean, at the end of the day, he is still, he's trying to be an entrepreneur. He's probably not making much money right now. So she's a breadwinner at the end of the day. And he needs his ego stroked versus her, him saying, that's so Vinny of you. But what I wish he would have done, it was just at that moment been like, what you mean by that?
Right.
And then she could have explained herself or whatever. But instead, he got all salty, pouty, and acting like a little beat that out. But he got all, and then he just can't function after that. Like and then she got to be like, who are your Cheerios? What's the problem? And then
when it's something that seems so minor like that, it makes you worry as to, well, what happened if the bills can't get paid? Or what happens when you have a kid and y'all really got to figure out real issues? What are you going to do? Because this was not, honestly, there's certain battles you fight. And this was not calling you Vinny.
That wasn't it. But it had to be something. Because she kept saying, give me an example. Give me an example. You notice he was hesitant about being able to provide an example or wanting to provide an example, and then that's the one that he gave. But I wonder if there's other times where maybe she was just a little slick at the mouth but not meaning anything by it. And we gotta put it in perspective that they've only known each other for a week. Like they don't know each other's quirks, they don't know what offends each other. So I think it's something they can get over, but they'll have to work at it. Like they'll have to seriously work at it. But
I agree. And I think because they're getting along so well, I think sometimes they just relax so much of, oh, I can just talk to him however, I can talk to her however, when like you said, you haven't known each other that long.
Yeah, and they having good sex. I mean, don't forget that part.
And I mean, when two people looking all tasty, you like, you getting on my nerves, but
you getting, you made me sick. You made me sick.
Take your shirt off.
Yes.
Oh gosh, but we see basically it ends up kind of really being an issue, and he leaves and goes to sleep at his own apartment for that night. And I'm like, wow.
I was blown away by that because I was like, it was that serious. I mean, I think y'all got a guest room, but it was like, I'm not even going to guest room. I'm going home.
Right.
No, home. Not even home, because technically that is home. But it's like, he's like, I can't even be in the same space with you.
Yeah, I was like,
He was like,
I didn't know it
social
was that deep, but y'all gonna have to have some work to do.
right. He took social distancing to another level. He's like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. Social distance from you. Then he took his backpack and he said, peace.
I am out of here, Bree. I see you tomorrow. So
Peace. Let's see how you like that cold side of the bed tonight, girl.
right. So I just hope this isn't, like you said, I really want them to work, but I don't like what I'm seeing from him, and this feeling like it's this control that he needs to have of every policing basically what she has to say. And it's like, oh gosh, she's gonna start walking on eggshells when she's talking to him, and he's gonna start, just nitpicking at everything or holding everything in and blowing up. I'm just like, y'all gotta figure this out, because you're
They
not
do.
gonna ruin our Woody and Imani this season. You're not gonna do
Right.
it. You're not
That's
gonna do
exactly
it.
who they are.
You're
They
not
are
gonna do it.
Shoot, get it together. Get it together, Bree. Say you sorry and move on. Shoot. Stop being so insecure, Vince. Like, man up. It's all right. Sell some cars. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get
Right.
there and make
It's
some
all
money.
right. She got your back.
She got your back. She got your and she has said that. She
Right.
has said that. She a good woman. She a good woman.
Yeah. It's a good woman, Savannah.
Savannah.
All right, we gonna move on to Jacob and Haley before we get to the good down with the get down.
Who, Jacob?
So Jacob and Haley, 80s boy and girl, that's just born. Okay, let's be honest. So we see them when they get ready to leave Vegas. Haley is by herself on the flight. She says she's at the airport alone because if you remember from last week, she told him she was going downstairs to hang with the girls. He ended up going to get something to eat and saw her down there with all the other couples. Now her story said she was with the girls and it seemed like it just so happened that everybody came down. She just didn't text Jacob to say we all hanging out.
Lies. The lies.
So he is definitely feeling some kind of way about that. And she was like, we need space. I'm going to change my seat on this flight and we can get some distance while we leave Vegas to head to Atlanta.
Boy, if that ain't petty, I am not breathing in the same COVID air as you. I am getting me some leg room and sitting in this aisle seat because I don't even want to be near you right now. They packed all in silence. Isn't that awkward? They packing up all that stuff. Ain't nobody saying nothing.
Nothing to say to you.
Mad. Big mad.
Yeah, but she did tell us that she apologized the next morning, but he had nothing to say. So that's why they basically packed in silence. But anyway, we get them back in Atlanta. They go see each other's places. Wait, where am I in my notes? Don't get myself confused.
Get together.
We're gonna go them seeing their places first and then their own place. We'll do it that way.
Okay.
So they saw each other's places and they have 4 dogs in between the 2 of them, which is a lot of dogs.
A lot of dogs.
You could tell when she stepped foot in his house and she saw all the 80s memorabilia, the neon signs and the clothes and the boots he wanted to show her. He was like, wait till you see downstairs. And she's like, oh my God, what am I going to see? It is just all of this stuff. And then I said, well, you get her here and you don't show her the beach and the sauna and everything that we done heard about.
We are invested in this house at this point in time. That's all we have heard about for the past 7 days. And you didn't show us the best part. All we saw was your 7-foot tower of DVDs or CDs, whatever they were. And I'm just
they probably VHS from the 80s.
Right. I'm trying to see the sauna. Where was the sauna that you told everybody about? Everybody at the wedding, everybody at the brunch the next day. That's all they heard about. They even saw pictures of it. We didn't get to see
surveillance camera video.
Didn't get to see it. I was waiting for that moment because he just brought us in. He brought us in
Yeah.
And we were waiting. We were waiting, and we got members only jacket.
Right. And she's like, what is a members only jacket?
He was so excited to show her members only jacket. It was those British nights when he showed her her shoes.
I can't remember.
Oh,
BKs?
They were BKs. I thought they were BKs, but I wasn't sure if they were or not. He pulled out that members only jacket like it was like worth millions. Like look at you know anything about the 80s? She said, no, I wasn't there.
No,
I wasn't there in the 80s. But you obviously are still there.
Yes. He is definitely stuck there. But so when they actually see their new place for the first time, they ain't in the door 30 seconds before the shit gets started. They are ready to get started with it. Because Jacob has told her when they was in Vegas, he asked her if she had a boyfriend. And she's like,
Girl,
no, what do you mean?
Jacob said, Haley's got a man
At home.
I cracked up laughing. I was like, oh, okay, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So of course she's upset about that. He's still salty about her not telling him about all the couples being downstairs. And he is really salty about it. They live in two different realities. Let's take a tour of the place, even though we probably ain't gonna be here long. Like he is going in.
Yes. He said, yeah, there's two realities. She said, there's two realities. And he said, yeah, the real reality and then your BS. I was like, somebody grew some balls in the past couple of days because he was not having it.
No,
any of it.
no, not at all. And I said, well, did we miss something? Because again, it feels like his reaction is bigger than the offense that was taken. Like what happened? It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but that's where we going.
It's the trust for him. And I think he said something about that. So it's like for him, it's like if you go to lie about the little things,
right,
that's going to make me not trust you altogether. Right. And so he looked at those things as like little things, but there was even no need for her to lie about it because it was so little. And so if you're going to lie about that, then you're going to lie about everything. So he was big, obviously, on the trust factor with her. And she had obviously broken that trust. But they got over it kind of quick. Did you notice?
Right. I thought that too. Like, okay, so we just moving on. Okay.
Right. We're just gonna move on. So it's, I don't know. I guess that's a good thing that you can bounce back from an argument or disagreement or something like that. But I don't know. It just seemed a little weird.
And she, so basically they say the same thing when Pastor Cal come over there. They talk about intimacy and affection. They're definitely different. She's like, that's my last love language. And Jacob is like, well, I'm kind of a little more touchy. And they had already had sex. And of course, that was when she started to pull back after that. And we kind of learned as they're talking to Pastor Cal that she's like, oh, I tried to, branch out because I was married. So we did it. And then once I did it, I was like, ooh, that was too much for me. So that's why she ended up pulling back. But she never shared that with Jacob. So on Jacob's end, it's like, girl, I just gave you the best loving and you just now shutting me out. What happened? What? So I think if she would have just explained herself and how she maneuvers and why she kind of reclused herself back yet again, that could have been a discussion. But all throughout the honeymoon, she just kind of acted like, I don't know, it's just something. I'm just still getting to know you. Like she just tried to brush it off. And I was like, just be honest, girl.
It was babunky. It was terrible.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. She said no. She said, that's all you got?
No.
She said, that's all you got? Because notice the attitude came right after that. So she was like, I ain't signed up for this. I didn't. I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah. So we don't know what's gonna happen with that. She does share that the 80s stuff is a red flag for her, and Pastor Cal had to pull that out of her and be honest, be honest. She's like, it's a red flag. It is a bit much. It's a lot that goes on.
Right.
So I'm glad she finally just spit it out and said it, because we could all see it, and we all, let's be honest, we all feel it. Like it's one thing to love an era, but to love it to that extent, it's.
But why did he get excited when he saw that jean skirt in her suitcase?
And you know, this is acid wash. This is the 80s.
We got to talk a bit about how excited he got when he saw that jean skirt in that back. Girl, I like these.
Got some just like him. We gonna dress alike.
Oh, I cracked up laughing at how excited he got over those, that jean skirt.
You know, I just don't see him getting rid of that stuff and changing, because he loves it, and so he's so engulfed in it so much. So I mean, the 80s may be the deal breaker for them.
Girl, she gonna have to set that thing on fire like Savannah did, girl. She gonna have to set that thing on fire. And yeah, he is attached to that era.
Yes,
he's attached to it. I mean, it's an unhealthy obsession, if you ask me.
Absolutely.
I mean, he had like neon lights going on in the was that the basement or something?
Right.
I said, who does this?
It's one thing to have a fanny pack and save Honey, I Shrunk the Kids VHS tape.
Now, that was a good movie. That's not.
I watched it every day. I watched it every day.
Act like we didn't watch Honey, I Shrunk the Kids
every day.
Every day. Every day. So let's not.
But that's different from your house being a whole 80s shrine.
Yeah. And the paneling on the walls, everything. I mean, it was bad.
Yeah, it's a lot. So anything else on those two?
No, I think if he gonna have them kind of outbursts, I'm gonna love it, because he cracked me up when he was in that house throwing all that shade. Like, he was not holding back, and I was living for it, because it cracked me up.
Like,
so
who is this?
Right? Who got some balls over the past couple of days? Yeah, so I'm here for it. He does not hold back, which I want Vincent. I want there to be they need to help each other out, right? Because he obviously regurgitates it immediately.
Right.
Doesn't even give it time to simmer. But then, Vinny holding back, holding everything in. So it's like two extreme ends of the spectrum there, but.
Right. All right, let's get to the main event. Chris and Paige.
The main event.
All right, so we gonna start at the beginning.
That's moment of silence.
All right. All right. So Paige ends up flying home solo dolo. Why, you asked? Because Chris booked a separate flight to Chicago because he needed to get away for a few days. He's been married for a solid week. It is too much for him. He has to get away. Hold your comments. Hold your comments. I know you're ready. We see Paige at the apartment. She's by herself. And then she shares with us that Chris is coming over. And we're like, yay, here he comes. So he comes prancing into the apartment and he wants to talk to her. And of course, we're now outside of the apartment because he doesn't want production inside. I think he forgets he's on a TV show, but I digress. He's outside and we have to hear the conversation going on, even though we know Paige is going to give us the play-by-play once he leaves and tell us what's going on. So we hear him say, I just want to be 100. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. I don't feel like, this is going to work. And it's the mics kind of go off and we don't hear anything else. So Paige calls production, tells them what happened. And girl, we find out that he has done talked with the ex. They have decided they are going to get back together, raise the baby. he's going to get a divorce from Paige, and he's already contacted a divorce attorney. And this is where we see the Paige we all been waiting for. She gets crunk and lets out every F-bomb that she can to production on the phone, and I don't blame her one bit, because I've been waiting to see this since the day after the wedding. Been waiting at the door. Let it out. Let it out.
Trash. He is scum underneath my toes. Let me tell you something. Chris is trash.
Yeah.
You're gonna leave your wife on the way back from the honeymoon to go visit the baby mama. The baby that's 6 weeks old. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, all of it, none of it makes sense to me. The timeline's all messed up. Chris he's trash at the end of the day. He's punk ass Chris is what I call him.
Ask Chauncey from the game, if y'all know what we're talking about.
Right. Punk ass Chris. That's who he is. And so the thing about it is so Paige is so still like, I still want to make it work. At the end of the day, he left you, and there still wasn't a point where she was like, I'm done with this, until he said, I'm done with it. Like, you were supposed to have said, I'm done with it, not him. And you and old girl just realized y'all in love and y'all want to be together and y'all want to work things out, because he don't want nobody else raising his baby. That's the problem that
That's
he
the
has.
problem.
And why they have Paige with a Taken shirt on? That bothered me. Side note, if you saw that shirt, it said Taken, period. I digress.
Take the period off.
That annoyed me. That annoyed the hell out of me that that the message was there. But Chris is trash. And then he always want to have these secret conversations as if he did not sign up to be on a TV show. Like
that part.
It's always the cameras aren't, let's turn off microphones. Like, who you
getting paid? You getting paid to be here.
Like,
they cut you a check to be on this show.
He is trash.
This is our business now. Our business.
Everybody business. But at the end of the day, Paige was still all broken up about it. Yeah, she had her moment, and I was like, finally. But it was short-lived.
Short-lived. So let's get into that. So she ends the call. I can't wait to meet the Pastor Cal, because I'm gonna air this ish out. And I'm like, let's air it out.
I'm listening.
Air it out.
I'm listening.
So Pastor Cal, she's looking all cute in her blue jumpsuit now. And Pastor Cal comes over, happy to see her. First, they should have seen Pastor Cal like day 2, but okay.
Right.
He asks how things are going. Paige, talks about, the wedding went well. They consummated their marriage, and Pastor Cal was like, okay. She does share that she felt like it was her duty to have sex with him, although she was like, she was leery on the connection. He was leery on the connection, but she was a wife for all of 5 minutes and felt like it was her duty to not disappoint her husband and have sex. So she then tells Pastor Cal, this is the bomb that has dropped. I'm on my honeymoon, and I find out that his ex-fiance is 6 weeks pregnant, and Pastor Cal has the shock of his life. Now, I want to say Pastor Cal, because he's Pastor Cal, that he's a good, honest, wholesome man, but it's also hard for me to believe that production did not call y'all and tell y'all the ish that was going down in Vegas. I'm side-eyeing you real heavy, Pastor Cal, real heavy about that. But nonetheless, he's completely shocked. He's like, 6 weeks. So what do you mean? He did that while we were in the midst of the show? Correct, Pastor Cal. That would be correct for 500 Alex. She shares that they have not been using protection. And then Pastor Cal is like, So do you know you're not pregnant, Paige? And she says she's gotten her period. Thank you, Jesus. We don't have another,
Won't
species
he
of
do
Chris
it?
that can walk
Won't he do
around.
it?
But she shares in that they pretty much have had sex every single day, which I'm not necessarily shocked, because anytime he says an ounce of niceness to her, her panties fall to the floor. So I'm not surprised that they have, but I just want her to be smarter than that. So I'm gonna stop there before we get the tight skinny jeans walking down the hallway and entering the building.
So I ain't buying Pastor Cal didn't know about this. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. The act was not Oscar award winning for me. I think that, and let's not just say because he a pastor, because remember Chris was a pastor too, right?
Well,
Right.
yeah,
His daddy too, wasn't he? Wasn't it daddy? Maybe
I
I
don't
missed
know.
that.
No, I think it was either his granddaddy or grandma, somebody up
Somebody.
there.
But anyway, so I Pastor Cal didn't sell it for me. He didn't sell. This is the first time I heard this information for me.
Right.
It wasn't there. It wasn't there for me. I do feel like he was genuinely concerned for Paige, but at the end of the day, where's your ownership, experts, and all of this? Because Chris didn't just become
Right.
punk ass Chris. He didn't just become what we have seen. There is no way. No, I take that back, because I think Chris is a master manipulator.
Oh, yes,
I think he
absolutely.
really is. So he probably did sell an image to them, but as much as I believe that they talked to them and look into their background and all of this stuff to prepare for that show,
Right.
he couldn't have hit it that
Right.
way. So, and I hate the way Paige is being portrayed in all of this. At the end of the day, she truly wanted to fall in love. She truly wanted to have a husband. She is wanting to do this the right way, the biblical way,
Right.
but she is made to look like a fool.
She said, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. I said, okay.
She ain't, girl,
Hey.
you true to being with people who got kids. I mean, what was that a bragging right about? Like,
Right.
you saying you were gonna stick with it, like that makes no sense to me. 6 weeks ago, this man was not serious about being
Right.
married.
Right.
Like, make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense. So
that's all. That's all. Yeah. And then we see punk ass Chris walking up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yes. So Mr. Gaslighter then enters the chat. He comes bouncing through the door as if nothing has happened, dapping up Pastor Cal, saying hey to Paige, as if nothing has
Girl,
occurred.
he act like he was coming back from Publix with the milk.
Right.
Like,
I just ran out to the grocery store real quick.
I just ran up to the store to get something real. That's how he entered the building. But okay.
Yes, that's how he entered into the conversation. So he comes in, and Pastor Cal is, saying, well, she just told me all this stuff, what is going on. So he tells Pastor Cal, yes, my ex is pregnant at this point, and the bottom line is I don't really want anybody else to raise my baby. So Pastor Cal questions him to say, but you broke up for a reason, right? And he says, yes. And then he says, so the reason no longer applies because the baby is here. And Mr. Gaslighter says he hasn't thought that far yet. So he don't know. He just know he don't want nobody else raising his baby, but rather he actually loved the mama. That's still up in the air. Like, as if he can't do each separately. You can be a dad and not be with the mom, but his ego won't let him have another man that's better than him potentially be in his kid's life and raise him better than his dad and his mom raised him. Point blank. So I'm gonna go on and let's finish up this, and then we can talk some more about them. Right. So they talk. He says that he thinks it's best. Paige pisses me off because Pastor Cal asks her, do you want to get a divorce? And she does not straight up say yes. She acts like she has no choice and she does not fit in this puzzle that he has put together for himself. So I guess I don't have a choice. So Pastor Cal leaves. Chris' belongings are in her car for whatever reason. So they go down to the garage to get his stuff. Oh, before he does that, he whispers in her ear something and we can't hear it. And she then tells us that he whispers he's afraid he will fall in love with her while he has this evil Grinch smirk on his face the whole time Pastor Cal is there and he's talking. And I want to, production would have had to get me off his neck if it was me. But anyway, they go down to the garage, they get his stuff. They stand there in awkward silence. And I'm like, why you ain't leaving? And she's just standing there like, I want him to follow me and I want him to love me. And I just want him to say, can I come up? Because I'm going to say yes.
Right.
She eventually says, well, I'm going to leave. And she starts walking away. And you can tell as women, you know that walk. When you want somebody to follow behind you, so you're going to walk a little slow. You may peek over the shoulder to see if they coming. But right. So she walks and he just stands there. And I'm like, Lord, he's going to follow her and her panties going to drop again. But he ends up driving away and she goes upstairs alone. Sound off.
Put them panties to the side. Let me slide through.
Shout out Funky Dynema.
So master manipulator Chris is at it again. Let me tell you something. The smirk, the smile, you hit it, the Grinch looking, even when he was explaining, there was no remorse, there was nothing about that. You know what? I got the feeling that the ex ended the relationship. It gave me real, like, she ended the relationship or called it off with you. Y'all had y'all bounce back moment at the funeral. And then she ends up pregnant. So now she's willing to take you back because of this. It didn't give me the feels of Chris was in the driver's seat with regards to that relationship. For some reason, I just don't feel that way with regards to what's happening there.
I don't think he would have went back. He would have considered her to go back to her if he was like, no, I don't want no part.
Right. So it's more like the baby was a good reason to go back, right? And maybe we'll find that out as the season goes on, but I need for Paige to not want to be in this toxicity. Like, this is such a toxic place to be. It is so different than religious beliefs. Right. I mean, it's beyond that point. You have known this man for a week.
Yes.
And he has brought no good to your life. None. You
red
have
flag after red flag.
Right. You have had sex with him out of obligation to doing so because you feel like that's a duty of yours. Girl, where they do that at?
Not around here.
Must be at Ebenezer Pentecostal AME.
Bedside Baptist. I don't know.
I don't understand what goes on in your mind to say this is okay and I need to keep subjecting myself to that. She melted when he whispered in her ear.
Yeah. I mean, her shoulders relaxed.
Right.
Her cheeks started to come up like,
he is a liar.
I'm like, what you mean you don't know what to do? He has told you time and time again, he don't like you.
Girl, she said, I don't know where. Then she said, I don't know where to go from here. Go to the divorce court. Go to the bar. Girl, I can
get your homegirl with those locks, and she ain't scared to bust some windows and key a car.
Right. I bust the windows at your car. Yeah. So Paige, girl. I mean, Chris coming back. The preview for the next week, though. You saw that? We ain't even go. We ain't gonna let him.
The audacity of him to say, can she sit and meet with him and the ex-fiance, and for her to actually do it.
Who?
Where they do that
Why?
at?
You've been in my life for 7 days. I owe you nothing.
No.
Nothing. I don't owe you this time. I don't owe. Girl, sign them annulment papers or whatever, divorce paper, whatever y'all got to do, and move on with your life.
Right, right. Next week is definitely gonna be more trash of the Everybody Hates Chris show,
Trash.
and it just keeps going
Trash.
on. At least at this point, we have some sort of separation between them and the other couples, and it's not
Yes.
the other couples being engulfed in their business as well. So
Right.
I'm thankful for that bit of it, but also I'm just like, oh, every week you don't think it could get any worse. And Chris keeps telling himself, hold my beer. Chris to
Hold it.
Chris, hold my beer. Chris to Chris, hold my beer.
I one up myself each episode.
Right.
Racks on racks on racks.
Like this is
It's
not
like, no.
looking good for you, sir.
No.
Like even and we heard you ain't doing too good in the work department no more either from social media. You lost your little subway.
Cold
So
cut.
you might need to get a job, and you ain't even making yourself look good on national TV. Don't no employer want to be associated with your nonsense.
Nope. Not a one. Not a one. You better go to Jersey Mike's or maybe Blimpies or Jimmy John's. They like that.
Firehouse, some other sub place, but Subway said it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Nah, I bet Page quarter of what he make probably look good right about now. Remember,
yeah,
he was very specific about that. It wasn't a third, it was a quarter.
Yeah, that part. So I'm like, you know what? It's all right. What goes around comes back around. Only a matter of time.
We're gonna just pray for Paige that she gets some sense,
right,
and count her blessings, move on, and forget she ever met Chris. Yep. Forget it.
Yeah. Forget enjoy the free apartment for a couple months, girl, and get that check that they're giving you and get on out of there.
That's it. You are a beautiful woman. Don't let Chris or nobody else be objectifying you. You got a donk now. I will give you that, girl. Work it while you still can. But I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She has a lot to bring and offer somebody. And I'm sure there's somebody looking at you right now, be like, hey, I'll take you out on a date, girl.
Right. Call me.
Call me.
All right, friend, you got anything else to say as we wrap up? Because, woo, this has been long.
I don't. Thanks for letting me have my first TV debut, join you on the channel. This was fun because I feel like we do this all the time anyway, but now everybody else gets a glimpse into our craziness. So I appreciate it. This was fun.
No, this probably won't be the last time, guys. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know I'll be in the comments chatting with y'all. So please let me know your thoughts on the video, and we will catch you guys next week. Same time, same place.